Om Shanti. In today's Murli, Baba says that nobody can tell you my biography. I have to come and tell you my biography. And I tell you everything about myself and also, the biography of the child is given by the parent. So Baba says not only my biography, but I tell you everything that you need to know about yourself also. So this is very important because one thing is Baba as he is, and another thing is who we think he is. Yes, and if who I think he is not who he is, then I will keep getting deceived by my expectations. And if I know who he is in truth, then I will be able to connect with him really, and then I will be able to take the inheritance from him. So it's very important to know Baba the way he is. And today Baba says that people sing many praises about me. And they say that I am Nirakar, Nirhankari, so I am the bodiless, the egoless. And some of the praise is true. So yes, I am bodiless, I am egoless. But then people say that God can bring the dead back to life. Yes, so Baba says that no, I don't do that. That's not my job. I don't bring the dead back to life. And yesterday also we were discussing that every soul has a fixed part in drama. So they shift costumes when they have to, they play the role they are supposed to. And every soul's role is prefixed. So when we say that, so I sometimes think of this word untimely death. So, in this drama, there is nothing that is untimely. It is always the way it is timed. So, when it is time, so we always say the call of time, and everything happens accurately according to the prefixed part according to time. So we cannot say this happened early or this happened wrong. So there is nothing that happens untimely in the drama, nothing that happens in the drama and is wrong or inaccurate. But then, because we don't understand Baba, we don't understand Baba's role, we don't understand the drama, and because of not knowing the truth, we have expectations which are based on what we think it is and how we think it should be. And then we feel what we feel. We feel all these emotions because we expect the way we expect, and then we get disappointed, we get hurt, and this and that. So Baba says, you must know that I don't bring the dead to life, and my task is to make you aware of who you are and your whole cycle, and how do you connect to me and come back to your power. So Baba has given us the knowledge that we souls have been around on this stage for 84 births, and we have depleted our spiritual energy. And now whatever is going around us, whatever disharmony we face with the drama, is because we are not in tune with ourselves. So when we will come back to our spiritual power, then we will be in harmony with drama also. And because we are not in our power, we have depleted ourselves, so we are in disharmony with the drama. And now, in order to get that alignment back, we need to connect with Baba and absorb, all the knowledge, the love, the purity that Baba is giving us and reminding us of. And then when we come back to our power, we will again be in alignment with the drama. So Satyug is a state of harmony where the soul is in its pure consciousness. So the 5 elements of nature obey us. And then when we are not in our spiritual consciousness, we are not in our highest consciousness, then the 5 elements of nature and other souls around us move into disharmony with us. So it's all about losing power and coming back to your own power. And Baba says, for that you need to remember me. You need to be with me. You need to hear me. You need to see me. You need to think of me. And you need to keep my company so that my company can color you. So Baba tells us his biography. Baba tells us our biography. And Baba says, there is no one else who can tell you these things, because I am the only one who can give you my biography. No human being can tell you who God is, because nobody knows God, only God knows. So we always say God knows, yes? So God knows also about who He is, and no human can tell us who God is. So this is something that Baba says today. And then the second thing that Baba says today is, what is the virtue that we children should adopt? And Baba says, you see that you have 2 fathers, the Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba. And Shiv Baba is bodiless and he is egoless. So we say Nirakar and Nirhankari in the praise of Shiv Baba. So Baba says, I am Nirakar, I do not have a body, and I am egoless. And this Brahma Baba, he has a body, he is in a corporeal body, and he is also egoless. And Baba also says that until I come, how will you know I am egoless? So Baba also says that people say that God is egoless. So Nirhankari, Paramatma Nirhankari hai, they all say. But then how will you know whether I have ego or not until I come? So Baba says, you see, I come and show you that I sit in an ordinary body and I am the highest on high authority, but I conduct myself in the most ordinary manner. Yes, so Brahma Baba's body is also, not gaudily dressed, or he doesn't need a big throne to sit on or nothing. So he just comes and sits in this old body. And then he says Brahma Baba also is the number 1 deity, but then now he is the old long boot. So Baba says, just like, old shoes become very comfortable. So Brahma Baba's body is also very old, and now it's, the soul has become comfortable in it. And then Baba says, I come and sit in this body. So Baba says, I am egoless, and Brahma Baba also doesn't make a big hue and cry about he being the world father. So you must also be egoless. And So, are you egoless? This is a very big question because we are not egoless. Yes, obviously, um, and what is so? I was thinking about what is it that Baba's buddhi has imbibed, and because of which Baba is egoless. So Baba carries out this whole big task of world transformation, and he shifts every soul from sorrow to happiness, and he makes the world into heaven. So he creates such a lot, and still he's egoless. And here we create something, and then we are full of ego, or we do some little thing and there is praise, and then there is ego. And here you see, Baba is not just Baba creates so much, but Baba is also so you see that Baba is also transforming the whole world, and then the whole world sings praise of Baba also. So there is no single soul who doesn't praise Baba, but then still Baba is egoless. So what is it that is missing in us that we are not egoless? So I was thinking about this, and you see that Baba knows who he is. Yes, so when you know who you are, and then you do as you are, then whatever you do feels natural to you. But here, when we don't know ourselves and we don't know our greatness, then our consciousness is not that I'm great. And then we do some little thing and we become very egoistic about it. Yes. So I think there is this connection between deserving and being egoless. So if you think that you do what you are destined to do and you deserve what you get, what you deserve, then you will not have ego for it. But if you don't understand that you're only doing that which is pre-recorded in you and you are getting what you deserve, then you start creating, you start magnifying your actions, or you start magnifying what you get in your heart, and then you inflate it, and then you feel egoistic about it. Yes. So now that we are Baba's children, and so it's natural that when you are becoming a deity and then you are doing this work of creating of world transformation under Baba's guidance, then it is but obvious that you will receive love, you will receive praise, is it not? Yes, and that's a natural consequence, and you deserve it. It's because of the actions that Baba has taught you. And then the credit for that praise also goes to Baba, because had Baba not taught, we couldn't have done anything and we couldn't have deserved anything. So, this connection with Baba, this humility that whatever I am doing is taught by Baba, and then whatever I'm getting is coming through a person, but it is a gift from Baba, and Baba has taught me the karma to do it, will keep you egoless. So there is this very simple analogy. So, that when there is an elephant that a Mahavat rides, and then the Mahavat sits on the elephant and the elephant does all the work. So, the elephant will collect whatever the people are giving, and he is the one who the Mahavat is showing off. But then whatever the elephant gets, he just gives it to the Mahavat, right? So if you give a stick, in his trunk, he will give it to the Mahavat. If you give some fruits, he will give it to the Mahavat, because the elephant knows that all this belongs to him. He is the Malik. And that keeps him egoless. And you look at the size of the elephant, you look at the size of the Mahavat. So the elephant is much bigger and stronger, apparently, but then he submits to the Mahavat. And that keeps him useful. Do you understand? So that keeps him useful. So Baba says, here also, if you want to be of any use, so we're pretty useless with these big egos. So we are capable of a lot, but we do nothing, because anything we do inflates our ego, and then we rest on its glory, and then we just enjoy. We don't take another step. And in the Shastras, there is this thing that is said that Ravan, so they say that Ravan, in the story, they say that if Ravan wanted, he could build a staircase to heaven, but then he just kept saying, oh, I can do it, but he never did it. So ego does that. So, when we are full of ego, we are pretty useless, because we are capable of a lot of things, but we are so full of ego that we never even do what we are capable of, because we are always looking for praise and appreciation and recognition and this and that also makes us pretty useless. So Baba says, when you are egoless, when you understand that you're only doing what you're destined to do, so you have a prefixed part, and if you are virtuous, if you're full of some speciality, then there is nothing great about you. It's your part in drama. And then Baba has, and Baba is making us egoless, and Baba is giving us the awareness of how great and special we are. So Baba says, then also you must remember that whatever you have and whatever you are able to do is because Baba made you aware. And then whatever you get is because of Baba, because Baba taught you how to do what he taught you how to do. And then Baba says, this will keep you very egoless. And Baba says, this is one virtue you must have, because I think that once you are, so there is this saying, pride hath a fall. So once you come into ego, there is only downfall. If you want to continuously rise, you have to do it with humility. Otherwise, drama has its own mechanism of quelling your ego. So once you are in ego, you will face a fall, and then your ego will be crushed. So if you don't want drama to do that, and you want to continuously rise, and rise you can only through your actions. And if you abstain from good actions because you get very egoistic about it, then you will not be able to rise. So Baba says, ego stops you from doing acts of greatness continuously. You are a great soul. You are capable of acts of greatness every second. So it's not just one. And I will tell you one thing. So if you are egoless, you will realize how capable you are. And let's say one thing. So, if you created one thing, maybe you finished one project, and then you create this thought that, oh, I'm very tired. It was a big project and I did a lot in it. And then, you are not compensated enough for what you do. And then people don't recognize how much labor you put in and how much effort went into it. And then you see, you get so heavy with all these thoughts that you are not able to undertake another project for the next 3 days. or maybe in the next 3 months. But if you just understood that if you did it, that means you are capable of it. And you're capable of it because of Baba and because of drama. So maybe you're capable of much more, which you never realized. And then you just invoke that capacity and keep Baba with you and do it. Then you will be capable of 3 more projects in the next 3 days. And I have seen this work. These are very subtle matters, and how ego limits your growth, and how ego pride hath a fall is true. I have seen it work in practical life. So once you are egoless, you will see that just like Baba is capable of such big tasks, Baba can also, and Baba is doing that, through the Murli. Baba is making us, Baba is inspiring us to give up our egos and then check our egos and change it into humility and gratitude, and change it into understanding that I am doing everything according to my part. And Baba is helping us to reach that place. And then when we reach that egoless state, we will be capable of much more. And then you will see how Baba can use you to do things which you never thought you were capable of. And ego limits our capacity like anything. So, and one expression of ego is resting on past laurels. So, ego doesn't allow you to focus on the present. It will always tell you what you did 5 seconds ago was very great. And then just wait until people appreciate it and praise it. And why should you create another thing before you reap the whole juice out of what you did 5 seconds ago? But then in the present moment, you're capable of a lot, but then you're resting on what you did 5 seconds ago, and you're missing out on the power of now. And one who is egoless is able to be in the moment, not rest on past laurels, and they are able to take advantage of every second, and with Baba create and do the work of world transformation, and create thoughts, create feelings, create vibrations, do actions which shift the world every second. So Baba says that I am egoless and I am the greatest, and I am egoless, and Brahma Baba is the greatest human, and then he is egoless. So you also imbibe this quality. Yes. So ask yourself, are you really realizing the whole potential of your body and mind and wealth? So are you putting it to the maximum use? And why you're not putting it to maximum use is just because of ego. So ego limits us in that much of a manner. And yesterday I was talking to Bhai, and we were discussing, and I said, you see, Brahma Baba is called the world father, Jagat Pita. Mama is called the world mother. And every soul, yes, could have the capacity of being a world father and world mother. But the only thing that stops us is ego. Yes. And ego has many voices. Ego will keep you stuck. And I have seen, there are people who are capable of so much, and yet all they think about is whether I'm beautiful or ugly. So you're stuck in the body so much that's ego, and then you are not able to see yourself and what you're capable of because you're stuck in the body. And sometimes you're stuck in the past. This happened and that happened. That happened, that's gone. But you're giving up everything that you have now because of thinking, because you're continuously thinking about what happened. That's ego. And then you're thinking about who recognized and who appreciated, and there is no appreciation. And I have seen, there is one person, and I met him once, and he's a he's a professor, and he does his own research work, and he's into some social awareness also. And then he was sitting in this big bungalow and with all the facilities. And then he was saying, you see, these days, the world is very bad, and they don't recognize what you do, and there is not enough appreciation. And then I said, and where did this bungalow come from? And where did all these facilities come from? And then, how do you think that your talent is growing? So the universe is reciprocating, the universe is giving you back. Why are you stuck on that one person who didn't recognize? So that's ego. And then you see, you are wasting your thoughts and your time thinking about those 5 people, 10 people, 20 people who didn't recognize. And then it's not about that. That's drama. Somebody will have the understanding to know what you're doing. Somebody will not understand because it's not in their drama. But then you are always being responded by the universe, accurately. It's not even the universe will respond less than you do. So the law of karma is such that you will what you get will be equal and opposite to what you give. So Baba says you are getting it fully back, but then sometimes you're so stuck. That's ego. So I want this person to recognize. So, and we don't understand that every soul has a very limited vision. So every soul is looking through their filter of sanskars. And if their window is not wide enough to see who you are, then they cannot see. It's not only what they don't want to see, but they are also limited by who they are. So Baba says all that is ego, getting stuck in the past, getting stuck in your body, getting stuck in the limitations of your body, getting stuck in whether people are recognizing you or appreciating you or not. And all that this whole exercise of ego does is it robs you of your capacity to work at your full potential. So Baba says you have to be egoless, and Baba says I am the greatest and I am egoless, but I think that greatness and egoless go together. So if you're really great and you know who you are, you will be egoless. And then that egolessness will feed into your greatness also. And it will make you great too, because you will realize your potential. So this is something that Baba talks about ego today. And then Baba today in the Murli says that, so there is Mama's Vani also today, and in Mama's Vani, Mama explains that the dictates of humans are different from dictates of God. So dictates of God means 2 things, opinion and direction. So when humans tell you who is who and what is what, it is very different from when God starts teaching you who is who and what is what. And then when humans teach you what you should do and what you shouldn't do, it's very different from when Baba teaches you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And Mama gives one example today. Mama says that when humans taught you about deities, they told you that deities have 8 arms and these many heads, or that. So three heads Brahma has, or 8 arms the deity has. But when Baba comes and tells you the truth, he tells you that deities don't have 8 arms and many heads or legs, and that's not what makes them a deity. A deity is a deity because of divine virtues. Yes, and um, our whole idea coming from humans is that, so you watch a mythological serial, and how do you distinguish a deity from a devil? So the deity is fair and the devil is dark. Yes, so it's that simple. So all dark people are devil, and then all fair people are deities. And that's where racism comes in. That's how you become a racist. So Baba says, you see, it's a body conscious world, and all the scriptures and everything that's written, and those who created everything based on those learnings, they are all body conscious. And then they gave you these ideas that the difference between a human and a deity is in the way they look. And this is not a small subject. If you look at it deeply, it is a very deep subject. And this deception from looks. So you just think about it, how much you're deceived by looks. So if somebody looks fair and beautiful, and they look innocent, you think they are innocent. But then looks can be very deceptive, because looks are not an indicator of the virtues that the soul holds inside. And how do you know the virtues? The virtues are reflected in action. And I will tell you one more thing. If you are so deceived by looks, you will not even be able to see the actions. So, even seeing, observing, as an observer, not observing in a biased manner. So there is so much prejudice based on how a person looks, that even their actions are not visible to you until a very long time. So Baba says it is very important to understand that a deity and a devil is about it's not about external appearances and hands and legs and faces. It is about virtues. And virtues have only one connection. Virtues are reflected in action. So until you interact, until there is exchange of action, you can never know who is who. Yes, and in this body conscious world, how do you recognize a Mahatma? By the dress. Yes, by the dress. How do you recognize Sri Ram and Sri Krishna and Shankarji? By the dress. What if Sri Ram came in front of you without the bow and arrow? Would you recognize him? Krishna ji came without the chakra and the mayur pank. Will you recognize him? Yes. So we live in this world where we don't have any idea about who is who. We only have an idea about what they wear, and then we are looking about that. And then you see in the world also, how do you recognize a person? By the iCard. So a person has to have an identity card to give you the identity of who they are. And if you don't have a big I card, if you don't have an I card that speaks that you are high and mighty, then you're a nobody. But then Baba says, you are who you are. And that's got nothing to do with how you dress, your I card, your post, your position, your designation. It's about who you are inside. And that's virtuous. And I always talk about this thing in the class. So, when children are growing up, you ask them, who do you want to be? And they say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer. And nobody talks about whether they want to be a good doctor or an evil doctor, or a doctor who cheats and loots, or a doctor who is interested in the health of people. So we are just talking about labels because that's how our whole approach has been. And it's very, very deep-seated. So Baba says, when you listen to humans, you only become body conscious. And when I teach you, I tell you that the difference between souls, the difference between a human and a deity, has got everything to do with virtues. And virtues are something very subtle, and they only make themselves visible in action. And I think from experience that until you have been with someone for really long, you don't know who they are. And until you have been with yourself very long also, you don't know who you are. Because you keep thinking, so we also keep thinking about ourselves as the world sees us. We don't spend time with ourselves. We spend time with our labels and our external appearances. So how many times do you look at the mirror, and how many times do you look at the mirror of Srimat? The mirror of Srimat will tell you who you are, and the mirror will tell you what your body is like. So we must understand what the dictates of Baba is and what the dictates of humans is. And then I would urge you to do this homework of figuring out what is the difference between the dictates of humans and the dictates of Baba. So today Mama pointed out this deity and human thing, but then there are lots of differences. So the concept of love or purity or peace or power, the way humans teach us, and the way Baba tells us what is purity or what is love, what is power, what is peace, is very different. Yes, and then how humans tell us how to interpret behaviors and how to respond to behaviors, and how Baba teaches us how to interpret behaviors and how to respond to behaviors is very, very different. Or how to interpret circumstances and how to respond to them is very, very different. So you must think about what is the difference between human dictates and God's dictates. And when we understand that, then we will be able to check how much of our personality is still based on human dictates, and whether we have shifted our buddhi and our sanskar from being based on human dictates to be based on God's dictates. Okay, so just think about this and do this exercise today. Om Shanti. Let's thank Baba for some time.